while my enemies fall. Psalm 118:7. The Lord takes my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me. Psalm 91:8. Thou shalt only look on with thine eyes and see the reward of the wicked. Luke 10:19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall be any means hurt you. Psalm 143. They only consult to doom him evil unto the just and the innocent man that is at peace. They stir up to bite with their tongues with God's insight. Right, that's why they hate me. Bring me the shield of discernment to protect me from their evil plans, and the insight to recognize the wicked and the power to destroy them. As a collector of information, I'm gathering receipts and bringing them back to the one who restores truth, exposing the wicked in their schemes. I'm a collector of information, gathering receipts over the years, storing them away for future use. My mind is a repository of knowledge, where every piece of data is carefully preserved, often with a sense of foresight, knowing that what seems insignificant now may hold great importance later. I have a keen eye for detail, and my ability to recall these receipts is uncanny, often surprising others with my precise memory. My collection is vast, a treasure trove of insights and facts, and I wield this knowledge with precision, using it to expose the truth and bring light to darkness. My motto seems to be collect now, utilize later, and with this approach, I become a master of information, a keeper of secrets, and a bringer of truth, the dark empath destroyer. That's what I'm known as. I understand the patterns of dark entities, those who dwell on the dark side, feeding on chaos and destruction. They're masters of manipulation, glorifying you with false praise to lure you in, only to tear you down when you discover their true nature. These narcissistic demons operating both worlds, pretending to be righteous while secretly working to destroy those who shine too bright. They study their targets, building armies of trolls to attack from all sides. Even when blocked or rejected, they'll find ways to stir trouble, seeking to witness your downfall. But I'm not one to fall. I'm a collector of information, gathering receipts to expose their schemes. With God's gift, I see through their darkness, understanding their purpose to recruit others to their cause, often with wicked ways in a demonized past. I'm aware of their tactics, and I'm ready to take them down. My motto is clear: collect now, utilize later. And with this approach, I've become a master of information, a keeper of secrets, and a bringer. But I'll shine a light, exposing their truth for all to see. This message is to the person I blocked. This will be the last message, the last cause that you read. I advise you to get a job. Go and put in time at a career center or a workshop. Get a job. This is good advice because you're wicked. You're dwelling too much in the dark side. Come to the light, get a job. Stop the ball, stalk the manager, and be great at your job and position. Offer service for the stalkers who are doing the same thing you are. Send them down the hill. Matter of fact, offer them the same effort that you're getting up to. Go look for a job. Give it to your trolls so they can actually be beneficial from any service that you provide after you stalk me. Stalk the motherfucking manager. Stalk the boss, okay?
Well, all right. Back in the saddle again. Once again, it is, no doubt, the one and only high-powered show that you've all been waiting for. Okay? And it is the conversation continues, talking about what's on your mind. And we are your host. You have myself, the one and only, your brother, your friend and servant, Brother Malachi, aka Dark Storm, along with the lioness, the seventh dancer, the impresario who makes all things happen behind the scenes, in front of the camera, or whatever else, wherever else she lays her powerful hands, okay, with original music and soundtracks. And of course, we have joining us the beautiful sister Tawana. So, yo, tonight we're going to bring it hot and heavy. You know how we do. But before we get into all the proceedings that we're going to talk about, let me give you the formula which makes this show powerful. It's been a long time. Like I said, your boy, you know, my health is kind of on the fritz, but you know what? The Lord, He works not only in mysterious ways, but obvious ways, letting me know it's time for me to get back in the saddle and join this battle. I got a call from my two beautiful sisters here telling me, set it up, buttercup, and get back in this fight. So now, the formula which makes this show work. You know it, but if you forgot it, the 7 I's. We bring intelligence, integrity, inspiration, influence, independence, insight, and stone cold bona fide information. And you know we roll with the pride. When you roll in the lion's den, you roll with the pride. Because we're always permanently ready and destroying evil, starting with our own. And you know we're not with the coon. We anti-coon on this side of the fence. And you know what? This is also the home of point and counterpoint. Sometimes we may not see eye to eye. We may disagree on certain things. So we may go into our little point, counterpoint, which is another way of saying debate, which is a good thing. Independent thinking. But also, this is the home of truthality. How you say truthality? Listening experiences as well. Okay? Also, we here on the Lion's Den, we know that some of you out there, you may be allergic to truth. You may be allergic to the facts that we bring. And what are the facts? That's frequently accurate, correct truths. Well, myself, the Lioness, and Sister Tawana, if you don't like facts and the truth, you have our deepest sympathies. Because we ain't going to compromise it for no one. And as always, okay, when you come into the Lion's Den, follow the formula set forth by one of our other family members, I Am Manna. You're going to wipe your feet, mind your manners, and conduct yourself in an orderly manner and enjoy yourself. Because if you get out of line at any given time, the seventh dancer, Sister Karima, she will swoop down with the quickness and work you out like physical fitness. Hit you with so many, how you say, you out of line bombs, not even a Jehovah will witness. So with all these formalities out the way, okay, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to lob it off to one of you ladies. So, Sister Tawana, Sister Karima, as the conversation continues, what's on your minds, ladies?
Okay, yeah, so I'm gathering receipts pretty much. And I want to start off with the killing the unaliving of the two brothers first. So let me get the receipts on that.
All right. And if y'all don't know who Sister Karima's talking about, we're going to be talking about the unaliving last month, February, of one Kyle Basinga, who is a student at Georgia Tech University, who was found unalive, hanging from a tree in Cobb County, Georgia, which is out of Marietta, Georgia. Okay. He was immediately deemed to have committed suicide. You know how that go. Okay. And we have also the unaliving of one Daquan Johnson, a case is still brewing out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, who had his hands cuffed behind his back while in police custody. And we see in the video, all right, this particular police officer, if you want to call him that, pulls out his gun, and just like Oscar Grant was killed at Fruitvale Station so many years ago, Mr. Daquan Johnson was shot in the back of his head. So we're gonna lead off with those two particular stories, and as Seventh Answer gathers receipts and everything else. Just Tawana, what's in your mind regarding these two events?
These police don't seem to never be held accountable. If they do get held accountable, usually it's a slap on the wrist. We've seen that they have uh, they have looked into, like, when the lady that got killed in her house, when she had called the police, they look into stuff like that because she called the police. But in situations to where the public is calling the police or the police are called out from another place, these officers are not held accountable for their behavior. Their behavior is usually out of content when nobody else is watching.
And I couldn't agree with you more. See, what we've been looking at for the last 25 to 30 years or more. It is clear. We talked about it here on previous episodes. We're looking at a very dangerous state of mind here in America. From policing to governing, there's nothing but corruption all around. As you just said, Sister One, I agree that here we live in a land where law enforcement, these officers of the law, are more dangerous than the actual criminals. We have our criminals with badges and guns and other weaponry being unleashed onto the public, and where they take a vow to uphold the laws of the Constitution, it would appear we have individuals, when they put on that uniform, they become a law unto themselves. We have seen countless videos. We've even maybe had our own encounters with these so-called law enforcement agents who don't know anything about the laws they're supposed to be enforcing. And then we see with ego and with some of them having already dangerous tempers on the low, a lot of civilians, especially black folk, wind up dead. But now a lot of you white folks out there, because we know we got our white folks listening as well, we're starting to see more and more cases of now your fellow white cops attacking and beating up on you. Now, see, and a great many of you are now starting to realize that what we black folk have been telling you all about some of your white brethren in police uniform are out of control. You now are seeing it. As we did with two recent shootings, one white male and one white female, in separate incidents, shot by the police. They were out protesting, expressing their civil right, their First Amendment right, freedom of speech and assembly, and they got gunned down. But you're right, Sister Tawana. We are seeing throughout the years a lot of police, lawyers, prosecutors, you name it, who have done all kinds of evil, misconduct, and in some instance, blatant, in-your-face murder, and they've gotten away with it, or they'll get a sentence, where they'll do some time, and then they get a sweetheart backdoor deal where they get released. That's not a good thing. And this is why we're seeing now other stories developing where a lot of people are starting to shoot and kill and blast back on these so-called law enforcement agents who get too beside themselves. But this Kyle Basinga case in particular, I find disturbing because, there was a video, okay, if y'all haven't seen the video, a video where before he was found dead in around February 14th, which is, I think, Valentine's Day, okay, he was last seen arguing with a police officer, which I believe You know, this video, I think that, no, wait, ooh. I know what this one is. Oh, this is Daquan Johnson. All right. Well, Mr. Basinga was seen arguing with a police officer, right? And in the case of Daquan Johnson, Grand Rapids, Michigan, listen, we're going to give you fair warning. This video we're going to show you. Now, we don't censor, but, we're very aware that, YouTube tends to censor, or they might want to try to flag or whatever. So we're going to give you fair warning. This quick clip that you're going to see, I believe, is of Daquan Johnson. It's ugly, it is brutal, but we don't want to hide anything, and we don't want to deprive you. But this is what we are. This is the madness that we're dealing with. So if you're ready to run the video, Sister Creamer, you can do so. And like I said, y'all, it's okay. And I'll shut down real quick, and we'll be right back. This is the conversation continues, talking about what's on your mind. I am Brother Malachi Dark Storm, along with Sister Tawana and the Lioness, the seventh dancer, Lady Karima at the helm. Let's run the tape, ladies. Let's run the tape.
I mean, you will be able to see exactly what everybody else is seeing, even though. Oh my God! Oh my God! Why did they do my nephew like that? Excuse me, one mic, one voice. Let's get the light on and let's get this door shut. Make sure I know where the all right, my man. So let's get the light cut off. Let's get quiet. Let's play the video again. What I want you to see is the entirety of the video. So please, if we can, do not. Let's not get in the way of the projector. Let's go get the light again, brother. Please. Don't get in front of the light. Don't get in front of the light. Okay, hands. Turn the volume up. Okay. All the way up. Yeah, the volume. You're right. Turn the volume. Hold on. Not very loud. He never received. He never won play. He never received. He never won play. He never received. He never won play.
Yeah, okay. That's tough to watch. All right. And I'm just gonna say the ad didn't add insult to injury. Not only did they shoot him in the back of the head, you'll see the police dog came and started attacking him too. They let the dog go so it could get its bites and bone crushing bites on a man who died instantly once he was shot in the back of his head with his hands cupped behind his back, similar to, like I said, what happened to Oscar Grant Fruitvale Station, California. Okay, some 20 years ago, or about a decade or more ago. Look, like you said, Tawana, we policing in America, governing in America, all we dealing with is nonstop corruption because that police officer, and I'm not gonna give his name no power here. Okay, but if you are interested, to the viewing audience, look up the case of Daquan Johnson. You're gonna find out this same police officer had already had, prior to his encounter with Mr. Johnson, 3 other killings under his belt. And the reason I'm saying it that way, because this dude, again, 3 other killings. That means there's 3 other people he already killed before encountering Mr. Johnson. And they had this fool still on the force. You have some police officers who do a full 20 or more year career and they never fire their gun once. This dude then killed 3 people. 3.
Right, but let me add to
Come on.
Okay, so as you can see, the dog bit him first. The dog came up there, bit him. That's what made him like, hey, move a little bit. And when he moved a little bit, it's 2 officers that shot him. Not just one, it's 2. 2 standing side by side. One shot him in the hand, the other one shot him in the head. Okay, but the one that shot him in the hand, the officer says standing on the right-hand side of the other officer, he shot him in the hand. And that's because the dog is the one that initially came up and disturbed everything and made everything out of control to make the guy move a little bit like, you know, the dog is biting me. The dog came and bit him before he got shot. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the correction. Go ahead.
Yeah, so if you look at it closely, that's why I kept on rewinding it so you can see that the dog came and bit him first. The dog came up and bit him first, and the guy kind of like, the officer kind of like, he moved him a little bit, but then he discharged his weapon at the same time. And that's when the other officer, I guess, fearful his life, what they say, and starts shooting too.
So here we go. So now the dog bit him first. So Mr. Johnson naturally in pain because the dog handler let the damn dog go while he already in cut. And they used that as the prelude to say, oh, he was resisting and they shot. Oh, come on, man. Wow.
Or they're gonna say, well, he assaulted the dog and the dog's a peace officer.
Yeah.
You know they'll play that.
They do value a dog's life over black. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Miss. You're right, Tawana. You're right.
No, it's gonna be an Oscar thing. It's gonna be a mistake because clearly, you know what I mean. But this is the thing, okay? Because plot twists, they said he had a gun on him. Okay, so normally when they mess up, they plant guns on you. You know, at first it wasn't. The story wasn't out. He had a gun. Now all of a sudden he got this pink gun. But this is the one that they was following on the body.
Okay, but seventh answer. Even if he had a gun, we crystal clear see he was in custody. His hands behind his back. He's no danger. They got him subdued. Okay, and one shoots him in the hand, and the other one shoots him in the head. But the one I'm looking at, the headshot killer.
The excuse is he's moving to get the gun.
He's moving with his he's moving with
they trying to say the gun is up under him. So yeah, they try to say that the gun was up under him and he was moving to try to retrieve it. Which
of course now that means they're gonna insult our intelligence because we crystal clear see his hands were cuffed. You can't. What is he, a contortionist? Is he a yoga? He got 3 hands or 3 arms where he could reach for the gun with his hands right behind his back. Come on, man. And like I said, that one officer who hit him in the head, he already had 3 other killings under his belt. This dude shouldn't even been on the, should have been off the force by now.
Shooting them in the leg
Correct.
or rolling them over or whatever.
Come on, man. Like you, right? They could have worked if that was the case. But come on. My point is, this dude, the way this particular officer is working with 3 other killings, you do realize, right? And he ain't been on the force no more than about 5 or more years, according to reports. Within 5 years' time on the force, he done killed 3 other people and now 4. That's yo. He got the makings of a serial killer.
Yeah, he a paid assassin.
Yeah, he coming off like he got serial killer vibes for real. But this is not an isolated incident. We done seen too many
None
killings
of the
recently.
incidents are isolated nowadays. Everything is out in the open. They don't have to isolate it because nothing's going to happen. Just with in regards to that and what's going on with these files and all that, they don't have to hide their agenda anymore. They're outside with it. They're letting you know that they can do whatever they want and nothing's going to happen. Let's look at what's going on literally in the world today. Same thing, different instances. You know how many people been on trees, hung from trees? They have that same thing here in California. You know, but they don't care. We thought that the people were doing it. I'm not going to say, but we thought that the authorities had something to do with all these people that just came up missing. And what about the people that in the hospitals that they were taking the bodies, and these black people were passing away, getting hit by cars. They weren't even contacting the families. They were harvesting their organs right here in Sacramento. Mercy General Hospital. Yes, Mercy General Hospital. We putting you on blast today. You have picketers right in front of your hospital right now because you've been harvesting melanated organs. So this is what these people do. They don't care anymore. It's about time for the revolution. Basically, get it together because it's not going to stop. No matter how much we march, marching ain't never worked. We've been marching for 200 years and they still doing what they want. And then to keep it 100 or maybe 200 or even 1,000 with you, every single race outweighs them. They are only 20% of the population. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to think about, for one, what's happening. What's happening is as a show that we did in the past, and the name of the show is what in the Bible already come to pass. We know right now we are in Revelation, excuse me. We are in Revelation, about to have a revolution. We know now it's time for judgment. We knew that when Cat Williams said it was time for exposure. But now it's about to be time for judgment. Your stewardship is on the line. We know what these people doing. We ain't blind, stupid, or dumb. But now, we used to give them the benefit of the doubt. But now they just giving it to us in our face what we didn't want to believe. We don't want to believe that. We trying to go to work and grow gardens and, stuff like that. We ain't trying to hear that. If you're black, you think that you came a long way. You think that you're out of slavery. You think that that everything's just fine now. Not knowing they plotting to eat your babies. They're taking your placenta out the hospitals and selling them on a high market. These demons are running this country. But it says that in Revelations that the last 5 years, we're not going to go there, but we can. It says what will happen. We're looking for the blood moons this month. So this is just something that is coming to pass that we are seeing in the book that we love so much. We are seeing what is written with our own eyes in real life. So those who don't know, those who don't have a relationship, those who want to just keep on doing scoundrel things and scandalous things and the demon work that they doing, their time is coming. So that's what I'm seeing. Police brutality is going on all over the country in rampant rages. They gave ICE the okay to do all of it without even having a background in law enforcement. These are civilians that they gave a job to harass and kill Americans. Okay? We see it all around the country. You don't do what you want, he gonna send them to your job. He's sending them to people's school. We just now realizing that the people don't like kids too much. They bombing kids with schools with kids and women. They kidnapping our melanated sisters by the dozen. Never seen so many black girls and women on billboards in my 50 years of living. Never. It's so bad now that it's not just a Megan's Law, it's an Ebony's Law as well. We got a whole website of missing women, missing girls. They finding them in houses 60 and 70 at a time, locked up, shackled up, babies 11 years old, pregnant, talking about they done had a baby and they want to know where their children are. And they babies themselves. The scandal that's going on is deep, and it starts with things like police brutality. That's what's on the bottom tier. But see, all of them are being puppeted by the puppeteers. All of them. And that's what we're going to get in tonight. The puppeteers and they puppets.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of puppeting going on too. And you know what, Sister Tamara, Miss Tay, I gotta say, I got to agree with you. Look, at last count, I stopped counting, but an estimated 70,000 plus black women alone, just black women alone, not counting Hispanic, North American and Seminole Indian women, but 70,000 black women are missing in this country at last count. Not to mention the fact that back in 2016, here we are 10 years up, the FBI and CIA had released a story saying they were quietly investigating if you've had Ku Klux Klan and other neo-Nazi white subversive group men infiltrate the ranks of law enforcement. But you know what? It's quite obvious. It's quite obvious. They've been on the police force. But now, like you just said, sis, you know what? You bought, and the fact you bought you want to go biblical on it, or go biblical. Look, even non-believers,
Politicians who let them do it.
Go ahead. What did you say?
The judges and the politicians is behind all that. See, that's what I said. The police and the people that we see are the puppets. Those are the bottom tiers of what's really going on. The bottom. And I'm talking about the very bottom. They just doing because they have no, when the cat's away, the mice gonna play. And the cat is on different stuff right now. The cat trying to run the world. So if he let them run wild, they're going to run wild. But let me tell you something. They run wild on the right people. They run wild, and this is the thing. When you hit people, don't expect not to get hit back now. Right? So at the end of the day, these people are doing this wicked work. They're doing this wicked work. They're doing it for their God. That's why it's out of control. Nothing's going to happen in regards to good other than you taking your own situation and making something happen out of it. We scared of the white man. We've been beaten, whipped, lied to, destroyed, to where we'll go against our own brethren before we go against the real enemy. We see it every day with brainwashed brothers out here killing each other. We see it every day. But when they go around that clear man, any of them, they're scared to death. Quick to drill your own, though. Somebody that look like you. See, it's what has been programmed in their brain, but they don't understand it because their eyes are not open. They are open, but they're not seeing anything. So that, I think that's one of the real reasons, really, in regards to the things that's going on right now. It's trickling down. This is bigger than us. We've been thinking small about this, but see, we have been looking and doing a lot of researching and doing a lot of to understand how everything goes and how manipulation and agenda is always something that they have. Nothing that they do is just because they are wonderful people. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Everything has to do with money. The United States is a business. They don't care about us. Michael Jackson told us that. All he really knows is they don't really care about us. He knows that. We should have known that when they treated us the way that they treated us. And when we did all these inventions and, the microchip, the microwave, all these things that we've done for them that they've stolen and made it to where they preserved it for themselves. No accountability. They won't pay homage, refuse to pay us, reparations, refuse to respect us, keep walking over us, because ever since the Pharaoh was here, the people of melanation always had a kind heart for others. They would let people come that was not of their tribes, of their families, come over and think that they was going to stay for a little while, not knowing that the colonizers wanted to take over everything. They think they coming to visit and be nice and stuff like that. They're still like that to this day. When is we going to say, you know what? You guys is the real enemy. You've been the enemy for 500 years. You've been killing, you've been lying, you've been stealing, you've been doing everything for all these years, and you played with our God, right? Played with ours by using his name in vain, to worship yours, right? So at the end of the day, what we need to do is not realize, but basically snap out of it. You scared because of what? Because they got the weapons. We developed engineers that have created most of their shit. A lot of that comes from our brains and our backbone and our sweat and our labor. They don't want to pay. They don't want to respect. They just keep on taking. You can only poke a bear so much. Our Aztec brothers, they want us to jump into their battle. But we've been battling for 500 years. We still fighting our own dang battle. So, I feel they should have known what was going on when he was putting their babies in cages in 2020. But still, and yet 68% of the vote was Hispanic. So there's nothing that I can say about that other than sometimes you get what you ask for. It was written a long time ago. Be careful for what you ask for, because you just might get it. I pray for all those women that are dealing with the losses of their sons, rather it be from police brutality or from brothers that look just like them. Because where I'm from, the problem ain't the police. The problem is people that look just like us, sworn by the enemy, looking at their brother as if they're the true enemy, not understanding and not even caring. So, I understand, Georgia's a ways away, and the police brutality is definitely on the rise, especially with ICE out here. ICE is giving everybody the okay to be assholes, to be arrogant, to be unwilling to cooperate because they just hired anybody. So you got civilians on the street telling people what to do. That's why in certain areas, the police is arresting ICE. You're not law enforcement. You're like a bounty hunter. You're not law enforcement. You guys go and serve warrants like bounty hunters do. You guys are not law enforcement at all. You have not had technical training. You do not know what, excessive force. You don't have any of the training that a law enforcement officer has. I can't get on social media and make it seem like I don't deal with law enforcement. I have a security company. I deal with law enforcement on a regular basis and been dealing with them for 25 years. And I know that everybody's not bad, but I also know that some rotten apples can make everybody else look like they are. And once you get so many rotten apples, it starts to rotten the other apples in there if you keep it in there. That's with any fruit. Put an orange in a bucket of good oranges and you have one bad orange that's molding. Next thing you know, 2 days later, that infection is going to spread. And that's what we have within the authoric figures all together. This is law enforcement. This is the Senate. Because let me tell you something. And this is with the court system, the Supreme Court system, to be exact. Let me tell you something. They could have been took that man out. They could have been said, nah, we not doing it. But they not. Who is really the puppeteer here? Who is really benefiting here? Because they could go right now and say, you know what, you're fired. We impeach you right now. Supreme Court can say right now, you're fired. But they haven't. Even with 30 felonies, they hadn't. So we sitting here looking at him, but we're not looking at the people who's giving them permission to do what he's doing. They're the ones that's in charge of him. So we're trying to get rid of him or say whatever about him. He's like a child that don't have any supervision. And the parents is just sitting up there and just seeing what he can do. We worried about the wrong thing. There's somebody or something or some entities or something like that that's above the system that the average person knows that's running everything. And it don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. It's somebody or some entity or something going on to where even the Supremes of him are scared to say, stop it. It's something in it for them. Or it's something that they can be looked at for. Something that's on them as well. Because why else would they just let this happen? And we look at all these politicians, Jasmine Crockett, all these people, and we think that they're going to make a difference. They're not. Because the puppet master is not saying that's going to be different. Why is the Supreme Court letting him do everything instead of just firing him right now. Why? Because they can't. There's something above them that has to do with all these countries that don't have nothing to do with the United States Supreme Court, okay? That has something to do with all these countries that overpower that. We're going to see it. It's going to be scandal. It's going to be, especially during the election, it's going to be all kind of stuff to where he does not want to go to jail. Okay? He will do anything to stay the president, because if he's not the president, he's going to prison for those 30 felonies. He is not going to let that happen. He will make a war. He will do whatever. Just keep him off of him. During this case right now, his name is mentioned in those files more than Jesus Christ is in the Bible. They ain't asked him a question, not a one. He ain't, I can't recall not one goddamn time. Period. He ain't asked them a thing. And once you do ask him, he gaslights you like a professional gaslighter, like he made the word up, okay? You're a terrible journalist. I don't know why they hired you. Yeah, I watched you. This terrible. I don't even see how they even had you on their cast when you ask him about what his role was. Okay, professional gaslighter. Don't want to answer nothing. Been around them attorneys too long, right?
Okay, she got cut out. But look, as you can see, the Lions Den, baby. Hey, we take no prisoners. And as you can see, you got Cream of the Lioness, and you have a very dangerous Tigress and Miss Tay. They bring heat. Okay, your brother in faith here, under the weather. But as you can see, the ladies got this tonight. Hey, yo. And it's not about ego. It's about who's in the flow. Now, I want to say to Miss Tay, but I say to the Lioness as well, look, it's quite obvious who one of the puppeteers is in running this country. Can we say his name sounds like Benjamin Netanyahu? Okay. See, did anybody miss back in June of 2025 when you had about 250 or more American senators, governors, mayors, go to Israel and make a pledge and a vow to Israel? Does anyone remember that? I certainly do. So it's quite obvious who one of the puppeteers is, who's actually now running this country. We're no longer it's quite clear. And I don't want to get hit with the you're anti-Semitic. Shut up, man. We're no longer the United States of America. This is the United States of Israel. Okay? It's quite obvious what is happening and has been happening. And now we got this jump off, this war that's popping off in Iran. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because Miss Tay, she said something that was very interesting, but let me not get ahead of myself. I'm gonna go back to Kyle Basinga. Now, like I said, this is the young man who was found hanged in Marietta, Georgia, in a park. Allegedly, he committed suicide. There were witnesses, though these witnesses have never been shown on camera, okay, who claim they saw him heading into the park. But I want y'all to look at this video. Take a peek at this video, and we're gonna come right back. This is the Lions Den talking about what's on your mind. Take it away, Seventh Answer. And you know what? Freedom of speech, freedom of fair usage, y'all. Let's go to work.
sense to you, bro? Hey, bro. Cause, bro, treat me like I'm some crazy ass nigga, bro. A random car drives behind me close like that. What? Bro, look where you are, nigga. I was on the sidewalk right here. You was driving close as fuck to me, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you again to chill out, stop screaming, and don't get in my face, okay? That's the last time you're gonna get in my face.
I'm not even close to you right now, gang. Just give me my shit and I can go about my business. Cause this is low-key illegal what you just did. You just checked me for no reason. Bro, what was your reason for getting my ID?
You said you were a student, so I asked your parents.
No. What was your initial reason? Because you see my hoodie. I have a Georgia State hoodie on, bro.
Right, what I asked?
What I'm saying? What was your reason?
Hold on now.
What was your reasoning?
What did I ask?
What was your reasoning, dude? You can't just ask anybody you're a Georgia State student. What was your reasoning? That I commit a crime. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. You seen that? Thank you. You seen that shit, right? Yeah, nigga. I have witnesses right here, bro.
I thought you was about to. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm paranoid as hell.
It's okay, man, because we got cameras all around here, so you can see.
I don't know what he done. I just saw you look like you were
trying to talk. I didn't do anything.
Right.
So hold on. You don't have no reason to get my ID, right? I'm not doing anything.
Actually, you are a student here. This is what I asked.
With a Georgia State hoodie on?
Right.
So you just go around asking random kids, are you a Georgia State student? Even the kid with a Georgia State hoodie on? Does that make sense to you, bro? All right, bro.
Again, I hope you get the help you need, man.
All right. What's up? I'm calm. I just got to videotape this bullshit, bro. Like, this is literally a police harassment. How you gonna ask me if I'm a Georgia State student with a Georgia State hoodie on, bro? Georgia State hoodie on, gang. Come on, bro. Right. Use your brain, nigga. Driving close as fuck. Bro, he pulled to the sidewalk, gang. Yeah, sidewalk. I was walking. He pulled close behind me. I'm looking paranoid.
Okay, the young man quite colorful and angry, but he had the right to be. But Miss Tay, before you got caught up, you made an interesting statement about the fact that
real quick. You notice he said, I hope you get the help you need. You feel me? Like putting it on his recording, because he know he's recording. So he basically making it seem like he crazy and all this type of stuff just in case anything happens to him.
Okay, you know what? That's a good observation, seventh answer. Okay, look at that. See, the more eyes and ears, the more a story can be really brought out and fleshed out, and discussions get even much more intense. But yo, my point is, Miss Tay made an interesting statement about the fact that in her neck of the woods, they have a theory about some of these lynchings and hangings might be done by law enforcement. Could be. I've been having the same thoughts, because you know what? This video shows Mr. Basinga arguing with a boy in blue, okay, giving him the business, calling him out on his racial profiling and everything else. And then a few hours later, he is found unalive in a park, and immediately, without no examination, without no hesitation, survey says, ping, he committed suicide. But for all you who've been avid watchers of the Lion's Den, you've heard us have previous conversations about other black men and women that have been found hanged. But now, the thing is, always where there are cameras and everything else, where these victims have been found, these people have been found and chose to kill themselves, the cameras don't work. They don't work all of a sudden. Or there's something else going on. But this young man was seen arguing with this police officer, and then hours later, he's dead. He out of here. He hanged himself. Come on, man. And like Miss Tay said, yo, it has gotten to the point where, yo, they're not hiding what they're doing, because it's to the point, hey, yo, what y'all gonna do? What we gonna do? And I've said plenty of times, and there have been other commentators who said it too. When you have men of other nations attacking your women and your children in front of you, they're calling you out. Now, like you said, Miss Ted, before you, because you was going in. Y'all wasn't men, y'all going in. But when you said it's only but for so long you can poke a bear before that bear, big grizzly, male or female, tell you a new one. And it's coming to that. But I'm not afraid to sit up here and say, hey, yo, Israel running this country. They're one of the puppeteers. And now there's been a green light given to wage war on we, the people here in this country. Biblical prophecy is indeed in full effect. And yo, the bottom line, it is coming down to, yo, it's either you're going to put up or shut up. Because they bringing it. We watched our president give $40 billion of our hard-earned money to damn Argentina. And that means millions upon millions of Americans across every racial divide losing their health care, EBT benefits, and other things as well. You see how this works? You see, when you give an inch, indeed there are those who take a mile. But the point I'm raising, hey yo, this young man was seen arguing with this agent of law. And then hours later, he's dead and gone. Okay? His name escapes my memory, but it was another young man in the same state of Georgia. He had called his mother from a police precinct, out of Mississippi. It was out of Mississippi. I'm going to get his name. It'll come to me. But the young man who was in Mississippi went to the police department asking for help. He said the 2 caravans of white men were following him in trucks. The police said he couldn't stay at the precinct to wait for his mother. And when they found him, when his mother did reach Mississippi, that particular area of Mississippi, I'm going to look it up while I'm talking. Bottom line is, he was found or picked up by his mother in a box because his spinal column and his head had been removed from his body. But he was last seen in police custody. And he was complaining about the fact that 2 truckloads of white men were following him after he had an encounter with one white fellow that he worked with. You see where I'm going with this? All these black truckers coming up missing, found dead. We done covered all this, but they were last seen in the confines of police custody. Now, I can't prove anything, but yo, there's too many coincidences where now you see a pattern. As Ms. Tay said, could it be that we're dealing with, how you say, the 1972 or 73 Clint Eastwood classic, Magnum Force, wherein that movie you had a police lieutenant or captain who had, how you say, California Highway Patrolmen, CHIPs, police officers who were assassins out here killing selected targets. And I haven't forgotten the speech given to Clint Eastwood by Robert Urich, the late Robert Urich, who was one of those rogue killer cops, who said, listen, there's a new America coming. And things are going to change, Harry. And either you're going to be for us or you're going to be against us. But you either join us or you will be dealt with. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm making a point. That movie, art, they say, imitates life. So could we be dealing with, indeed, rogue elements of law enforcement out here, being sent out here, like she said, ICE, and with the green light to shoot to kill, with extreme prejudice? Is just a thought, but it's just a thought. It's a scary thought, but you better take into careful consideration. Like I said, this young man was seen arguing with this police officer, and then hours later, Kyle Basinga was found hanged. Come on, man. Let's do the math. We got a video. This is what the conversation continues, talking about what's on your mind. As you can see, Miss Tay, the lioness, Karima, they bringing heat. And me, hey, I'm loving it. Okay? So seventh answer, take it away.
Hey family, it's Netta back at you with Black Lives Count, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you are all, taking care of and living lives fully every single day. So family, I'm back at you with a video pertaining to a young man, a 21-year-old black brother that was unalived, okay? They're calling it a suicide, but we know better. We know better. So let's get into this article. This happened in Cobb County, Georgia, by the way. It says the family of 21-year-old Kyle Basinga said he was found dead at Fair Oaks Park, ruled a suicide. But the manner of the young man's death has been greatly scrutinized on social media. Officials in Cobb County came forward Monday to address a case about a man's death that had generated much concern on the social media and in his community. A young black man that was 21-year-old Kyle Basinga was discovered last week dead at Fair Oaks Park. He was found in a horrific manner, hanging from a tree. The death has been ruled a homicide, and both Cobb County Board of Commissioners Chairwoman Lisa Cupid and Cobb Police Chief Dan Farrell reiterated that finding in a press conference. You see, they want to be on code and on board with ensuring that when they first come out about it, that they want to ensure that they're saying that it was a suicide, despite finding evidence that it was a suicide. But they also promised to be transparent and more information and bring more information from the case and be forthcoming as soon as they were able to meet with the Basinga family to give them a private case overview. They said there's been a delay in that so far because a family member of Basinga's has had to travel in from out of the country. I believe this young man, I'm not sure what country he came from, but I believe this young man is a family, of immigrant people. But I believe he was a citizen. He was born here. Speaking of Basinga's death and the circumstances in which he was found, Chairwoman Cupid said, this is a violent manner. This is a violent manner. This is a violent manner that has caused many to think of the days of slavery and Jim Crow. And this type of violence shown toward African Americans or Black Americans, particularly Black men during that historical time, has caused many to respond to what is occurring with great disbelief. We want to see the truth of the matter first for the family who is deserving, and understand that as they go through their own grief at this time, but it's also important for our community to know the truth. I don't want us to lose that truth. Chief Farrell said that from the evidence collected to this point, there are no indicators that another person was involved in the incident. However, the investigation remains active and that they will continue to evaluate all evidence thoroughly. Yeah, we understand that. Farrell said that evidence will include videos, phone data, witnesses, and additional physical evidence from the scene. He estimated that meeting the family can happen in the next day or so. The discovery of Basinga in the deeply unsettling manner he was found led to a number of social media posts and community members expressing skepticism that there had been foul play involved. Let me stop right there and say this. Whoever is anticipating or believing that there was foul play, I would think that was correct, because too often Black men, women, and even young people have been found hanging in trees. We know this is a signature move of the Ku Klux Klan, okay? White supremacists, okay? Aryan Nation, Brotherhood, whatever you want to call them, whatever they're calling themselves today. We know this is a signature move that they do. This is what they do. They hang Black people in trees, and then law enforcement, who is possibly already aware of this situation, comes in and says that, oh no, this was just a suicide. A couple of years ago, and I don't know if many of you remember this, and I can't think of what state this was in, but there was a 72-year-old woman, and I want to say it may have been in either Illinois or it was in New York, but I can't remember. But it was a 72-year-old woman found hanging in a tree, like I want to say a couple doors from her home or something. But anyway, she was found hanging in a tree, and they said it was suicide. To this date, no one has ever come back and been able to explain to us how a 72-year-old woman climbed up in a tree and hung herself. You know what I'm saying? But this is the kind of rhetoric and lies that they will tell. I'm going to say, Black men, you have to be in a situation where you are in control of you getting home. And that means practicing your Second Amendment right. And if you can't legally practice your Second Amendment right, then legally practicing another form of protection. But I would be well ready if I had to be. Family, this is very heartbreaking, okay? I have nephews that young. I have nephews. I have little cousins and stuff. This is really heartbreaking that this young man who has just began his life has been stopped, in the thriving of his life. Okay, because at 21 years old, he is so young and fresh, and there are so many things that this young man could have accomplished that he will never accomplish now because of what has occurred with him. Okay, it's sad. It's very sad, and we're tired of this now. We are very tired of this, and that's why I'm telling Black young men that are legally able, Black young women that are legally able, Black, old, or young. if you live in a state that you can practice your Second Amendment right, get training, seek a specialist or a professional person that can help you learn about it, what, to do with it, how to use it. I'm not saying go out there and be careless and be stupid. Do it legally, do it the right way, but do something. Do something to ensure that you get home. We're seeing our truck drivers, we're seeing people just walking, because see, one thing I know, more and more Black people today are walking trails. And apparently the young man was found on a trail, off a trail, that possibly he had been walking, okay? Now, show us the pictures of the young man walking the trail where knew he was going in there to do something to himself. They're not going to have that, because I don't believe that to be the case. I believe this young man went in to walk a trail and was met, unfortunately, by some racist people. Okay, I want to say more than that, but some racist people, and unfortunately met his demise. And let me say why I say this. Because there's been a few times that I don't go by myself, I go with several others walking in a trail, and we come up on some unfriendly palm-colored people, and I mean unfriendly, okay? Looking crazy and just as ignorant. But see, the only good thing about that is we all be packing. Yeah, we all be loaded, locked, and ready. So if they come in there with some BS with us, it's going to be some BS. And ain't going to be no people putting no trees either, okay? So I'm just saying, do it legally, but do whatever you need to do to come up out of a situation to protect yourself. Because unfortunately, we have people roaming around this country, which is the United States, that feel that it's their right to unalive Black people, put them in trees and things like that. And we got to make sure that we're okay. And this is why I honestly advocate for not voting for the Democrats, because Biden had the whole House, the Senate, everything. And Biden, they did not give us a hate crime bill, but they gave the Asians a hate crime bill. Yet they haven't found Asians hanging in trees. Okay, let me know of one Asian that they have found hanging in a tree, and then maybe we can have a discussion. But they're not finding Asians hanging in trees. They're finding Black men and Black women hanging in trees. So something has to be done. And I'm going to say, foundational Black American, I'm so glad that we are doing the things that we're doing, as far as socially, as far as economically, and now as far as politically. We have to keep doing these things, because it's, we're not going to get anything accomplished by giving in or giving up. We got to keep doing what we're doing. We got to keep delineating. We got to keep ensuring that our vote receives something, okay? And if your vote is not going to receive something, when they tell you they can't do it, or they can't talk to us, or they don't have time, or whatever, then guess what? You're not getting my vote. Because, see, they make time for the communities that they want the vote from. They make time to go out and have conversations to see what the people want. They make time to ensure that once they get elected into those offices, that those constituents get the things that they have voted for, that they have told them that they are putting them in office to do. The only community in the United States that does not receive benefit for her vote or for their vote is foundational Black Americans. And so now it's time for us to not just give our vote, I don't give a damn to who it is, because this kind of stuff is going to keep happening. We need a damn hate crime bill. We need a hate crime bill. Okay? And we need reparations. Okay? You don't want to give reparations? That's fine. You don't want to give a hate crime bill? That's fine as well. Don't ask for our fucking vote, because we're not going to give you that. All right, family. And with that, I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and comment. And let's chop it up in the comment section. You know, we got to do things differently now. We just have to. You know, all right. So peace, love, and blessings, family, and Black Power, and take care. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
And all right, we're back. Now, before we get any further, like I said, the seventh answer, Miss Tay, they own the case like Sharp Out Washington. Richard as portrayed by Richard Pryor in the classic Uptown Saturday Night. They don't miss nothing, as you can see out here in Lions Den land. And as you know, we cut no corners here. All right, we cut no corners. We play no games. But yo, before we get back into the conversation, let's see who's talking, ladies. Let me go on to look. Let's see in the comment section. Let's see who's talking. Okay, we have T Miles. Hey, brother, what's going on? What's going on? You saying what up to the Queens in the Lions Den? You got the King in here as well, your brother. That's me. And we have now, all right, Beverly Brown. She said, this is clearly an over operation to instigate what they are accusing us of, a race war. You're right. You're quite right, Miss Brown. They're definitely pushing it, but it's going to have to be given back. It's going to have to be answered. And that's real talk. Then we have Indigenous Black Man in the building. What's going on, IBM? How you doing? Long time no see. Then we have Yahel, Sherelle, Yasha'Allah, saying hallelujah. And let me see. She says she needed to hear this. And we glad that you're enjoying these messages, Sister Yaheli, Sherelle, Yashala. Okay. And Beverly Brown said did that film was on to something. Okay, I'm missing something as far as the film, what film you're talking about. But the bottom line is, hey y'all, we are back in the building. It's good to see that y'all out here talking as well. And that was a very powerful video that you just pulled there, Sister Karima. That sister's on this. She's right. Miss Tay said it earlier. That here it is now, socially, politically, economically. The fact that we are now delineating, the fact that we are, I think that's what got a lot of other people rankled. That all of a sudden now, foundational Black Americans, that we're not taking those, we actually are not taking any more shorts. That we are getting much more voice suffrage. That killing each other, as you pointed out, Miss Tay, a lot of that's starting to take a chill pill. And that's got other people talking. But you know what? We are fighting our own battles because you know why? Listen, to all my Hispanic brothers and sisters out there, all of y'all who want to be white adjacent, you want to join the other team, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay, all your anti-Black racist sentiments. What do you think was going to happen eventually? Huh? This fake Black and brown coalition? Nah. We see how that's been going. So some of y'all are on your own. This is not to insult all my Latino community, but some of y'all, man, yo, real talk. We done told you how things are in this country. And you want to do me no black, you know, well, stay no black. Stay you know black behind right where you at. We're not gonna fight your battles. For all you some of you white folks, for a long time, we told you how some of your white brethren are out of control. Okay? We tried to form coalitions with you, be peaceful with you. You ain't want it either. And now when you're getting your ass kicked, Now, now you want to unify. Oh, where you at? Where black folks at? Now we minding our business because we got too much going on in our own neck of the woods. And with some of y'all voting against us, getting reparations and everything else, nah, we sitting this out. We got our own issues to deal with. And we not going to be nobody doormat. I'm glad the young lady said what she said. Okay, and that shows you how we're in the spirit here on this show. Now, the seventh answer is bringing the receipts. Miss Tate, they're bringing the receipts. So, we got another video. Take it away, seventh answer. Let's go to work.
First tonight, a deadly officer-involved shooting in our Grand Rapids neighborhood. It happened not far from where I am right now, near MLK Street and Eastern. The police chief.
Well, all right. We having a little technical difficulties, or maybe that's going to be worked out. But look, the bottom line is, as I was saying, a new day, a new time is now in full effect. And as Ms. Tay said earlier on, we moving in a whole other direction. In Revelations, things are being revealed left, right, and center. And it's all about how we're going to respond and how we're going to react as things get much more intense. Beverly Brown said it best. They are goading us into a war. They goading us, but the Bible said it was going to come to this. I know some of y'all may not be Bible believers, but you seeing it now. Okay? So the bottom line is, all we bring are facts, non-stop facts. And look, this shooting of Daquan Johnson and this killing of Kyle Basinga is disturbing. It's just something that's going to have to come to an end. We gotta put a stop to this, man. You got black men and women coming up missing, being found, chopped up, and everything else. But we're gonna go to the Grand Rapids, Daquan Johnson case. Seventh answer, take it away.
First tonight, a deadly officer-involved shooting in our Grand Rapids neighborhood. It happened not far from where I am right now, near MLK Street and Eastern. The police chief did speak to the media this afternoon, shared body camera and dash camera video. He said it was to stop rumors circulating on social media. He said he wanted to do this in a timely fashion. Grand Rapids neighborhood reporter Matt Witkos was at that news conference. He joins me live with what he saw. Matt.
So Grand Rapids police just released this video just about an hour ago where we saw 3 different camera angles from this incident. What we did see was 2 body-worn cameras and 1 dash camera video from this officer-involved shooting. We do stop the video moments before the shots were fired. We do want to
I got the dog. Dog's good. Hey, dog's right on. Stop reaching, man. You're gonna get shot. He's got a gun in his hand. Let him go. Let him go. Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
That's moments just before the We do stop the video moments before the shots were fired. We do want to
He's reaching. Grab his right arm. I need you to grab his right arm. Grab his right arm. I got the dog. going? Hey, dogs, right arm, right arm. Stop reaching, man. You're gonna get shot. Hey, he's got a gun.
And he's not reaching though.
What are you doing?
So every time I'm pausing it, I'm showing you that the dog is still biting him. Pay attention
Yeah,
to
I
the
see,
dog.
I see what you're doing. I see it. I see exactly what you're doing. Damn. He was
No,
on him.
the dog is eating them up.
Let me give you that. Okay.
Look, hey, show me your hand. He's reaching. Grab his right arm. I need you to grab his right arm. Grab his right arm. I got the dog. Dog's going. Hey, dogs, right arm, right arm. Stop reaching, man. You're gonna get shot.
You heard him.
I wanted to say
You heard him say he
when
got the dog.
the
You heard him say he got the dog. And his dog
yeah,
still
but this is what I want to tell you because I got bit by a police dog before. So this is what I want to tell you. The dog's attack on gunfire. Are you sure that that gun was not fired prior any other time? Because with the 2 times that I got bit, first time that I got was because I had let off a firearm. They have a keen smell for gunpowder. So if it went for the arm, usually it's because gunpowder is on the arm. I know that because I had that personal experience myself. I got bit 17 times. So I know that when they coming, right, and you pop, 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 right, the dog is gonna come exactly where the smell of that gunpowder is. If it's on you, he's gonna bite you. If you're hiding under something, he can smell it. He's gonna go up under there. That's what they're trained for, that gunpowder. So looking at this video and seeing that the dog went specifically for one arm, that lets me know or gives me an idea that he fired a firearm with that arm. Now go ahead.
That is not the case, and that's not the case. They use the dog for less deadly force, especially when it's trying to apprehend somebody that's moving. So they already said, and I'm gonna show you, Cam, that they used the dog for less deadly force, but the dog was all over him. It's 3 body cams gonna show that the dog is gonna be in both places. But anytime a suspect, it don't matter if he got a gun or not. When they have a dog, the dog is gonna attack you because that is his job, is to make sure that he,
the dog attacks on the man.
So yeah, it don't matter if you got a gun. I got bit by a dog. I didn't have no gun nowhere around. There was no shots or nothing. Anytime a dog K9 is used, he's basically an officer. So he's gonna do his job. Pretty much is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when they come, they sit the dog on you. They let it off the leash.
Hold on, let me finish. Majority of the time, they go through training and they train to attack the arms and the leg to bring them down. So that's part of training. Okay, so yeah, let's go.
But that's an interesting point you did raise, Miss Tay. Like I said, we want to look at all the aspects, but looking at this video, this dude was not armed. And you see the dude, he's reaching. His hands are his hands were behind his goddamn back.
Yeah, that's that gun.
Yeah, no, he was
gaslighting. Like you said, gaslighting.
Yeah, there was this video wasn't just them just riding up just now. And it was a long travel before they actually got him. He was riding on a bike. He didn't stop for a long time. It's just a short clip. But the very first clip that they didn't show is him actually, they followed him for a long time before he actually pulled up into the spot that he's in, because he was on the road when they was basically following him and trying to get him to stop, and he did not stop. So yeah, but it's like 3 different body cams, but they're only showing you little pieces. Even I'm gonna show you that where they're having a conference and they only showing you they don't never show you the incident. They're not getting close to the incident. They're only showing you from the body cam that you're going to see in the little 3 angles, but they're not, there's many angles that, like the officer body cam, they're not going to show you the direct body cam on the officer. They're only going to show you the from the squad car and the other officer. They're not going to show you the main officer body cam. They're going to keep that the secret. But yeah, but we're not going to put into more into what it is. The man was basically, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm not going to say he didn't have a weapon, but even if he did have a weapon, that's still not, the incident wasn't, you know, proper cause for them to kill him. I think the dog, you know, played a major role into the homicide, because that's what it is a homicide. But if they would have contained the area, just like, I mean, the dog, like the officer said, tame him, but he wasn't. He was too busy trying to grab his arms, and the dog was wild. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Them dogs don't listen anyway. Them dogs don't be listening. They be having to get them dogs. Them dogs do not listen. Once they get that first bite,
once they already got the man handcuffed, already you can clearly see he's handcuffed for a minute. You know what I mean? So he's moving. No, because look, oh no, let me finish. The first body cam, the dog, they do get the dog away, and he gonna come back. He gonna come back while nobody's you know, holding him, because they gonna be holding him, and the dog gonna run around and come back and bite him again. That's when it's gonna get out of control. You're gonna see the other body cam is gonna show a little better of the view of how the dog came back and got on him. But what I was saying is, even if he's, you know what I mean, known to have a weapon or whatever the cause it may be, you know what I mean, it was no reason for them to, you know, shoot him based on what he was doing, you know,
unjustified.
They made him, I think they made a clear mistake, and they're trying to cover it the best way they can. But I seen a clip where his mom, which I'm gonna show, where his mom was like, yeah, he's on parole. I didn't even know that. He's on parole. So he don't even supposed to be, if he did have a gun, he don't even supposed to be carrying no gun. You know what I mean? So it seemed like they was familiar with the guy. The way they acting is like they familiar, the way they chasing him down. I don't know the reason why they got on him in the first place, but they was actually following him for a long time before, you know what I mean, he dipped in the cuts right there. But I think it's gonna show it on
he's known by law enforcement, especially if it's in a small. If he's on parole, he's known by law enforcement, especially if it's in a small town.
Yeah, it is. So I think he, you know what I mean. You're gonna see it if I pull this video. You're gonna see a little bit more of it, but they only show like a little bit of the clip, because the body cam that video I got, it was somebody across the street that caught that, and there's another video where they caught it from another way, and it don't look as pretty as that either. And it was civilians catching the good part.
That's moments just before the shooting. Now, during the press conference, Chief Eric Wintram explained that officers followed the man for almost 2 minutes before he got off his bike in the apartment.
2 minutes. That's a long time. Do you understand me? 2 minutes. They followed this man. And you can clearly see he was not trying to give up. He was trying to get where he was going, and he was just riding down that little road. He was gone. Like, I'm trying to get where I was going.
And I can't blame him. They hunting him, basically.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Apartment complex on the city's south side. Police initially dispatched a canine to the man. You can hear in one of the videos the officer saying he has a gun. Wintram says this man was out on parole and shouldn't have had a gun. Police did show this picture of a gun that they say this man had on him. Wintram says only one officer's fired, and he believes 3 times. Now, I did talk to the man's mother earlier this morning. She did explain to me that her son Daquan was just feet away from his his home and that her granddaughter saw it all happen.
What was the call initially to where you would want to stop this?
Yeah, I would like to find out, and that's I'm sure going to be when the officers are in here either tomorrow morning or the next morning to give their full statement. They're going to describe it, but it doesn't seem to be a 911 call. It seems to be an officer-initiated call. So they either observed this individual giving indications that this individual is armed with.
They observed. This was nobody just calling in. Okay, let's back this up. Nobody called in. They just observed him, and they observed him maybe be carrying a weapon. Like, make this make sense. No, y'all was harassing this guy. You know what I mean? What they call trying to stop and frisk somebody for no reason.
I think he was familiar with law enforcement and they knew exactly who he was.
Of course. They was basically gonna pat him down, and he probably was a runner. He probably got a record of being, you know, known to have a weapon and a runner. They
or a fight.
All right.
Yeah, they didn't know who the runners is, and when they rode up on him, really 2 minutes ain't long. That means they just cruised by him, literally on the side of him, profiling, seeing who he was. Put his face in there.
Video of them following the body cam of him following for a minute. He did not pull. He was not pull over. So it was, you know what I mean, a minute.
Yeah, you know how because that's happened to me a couple times. You know, not just on harassment, but them just riding on the side of you or riding your tail just to see if you're gonna do something wrong. You know what I mean?
Hell no, they was following
I think that they knew him. I think they knew that cat because that cat was already going to jail and stuff like that. Not saying that is justified. You don't justify nothing, but I feel that they already had some type of rapport. They already knew this individual. They was already familiar with his type of crimes. And once they identified him, they you know what I'm saying? They like, oh, he be having guns. So he on parole. That was the probable cause of stopping right there, just based on he on parole. You know what I'm saying? Anytime that you are on probation or parole, they can stop you at any given time. They come to your house any given time.
No, that's bullshit, because out here they got it to where no, they can't do that. They have a whole team, a whole squad.
Yeah,
they have a whole squad that go against them, investigation that goes against them if it's called profile, and they do it a lot to black people. So no, majority, even if you got a gun on, you will beat your case.
That's not correct. I'm not going to tell my business, but that's not correct, honey. That is not correct. No, that is not correct. You're wrong. You are wrong.
Yeah, it is. Hold on.
Okay, you can say that.
Wait. Hold on. Miss Tay.
Let me finish, and then you talk.
Go ahead.
I know this for a fact because my son just got off on that. It's proper calls. It's a whole team. Like I'm not making nothing up.
No, this is what I'm telling you. Maybe it's different in Stockton, but where we at, and also it depends on what type of probation you in. What type, you know what I'm saying? You can be.
You have to let me finish, and then you could go. We're not gonna do that. We gotta, respect each other, voice, because I'm barely even talking. So let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, they have a whole team of investigations, kind of like internal affairs against these officers who do that, because they've been profiling a lot of people based on monitoring funeral homes, monitoring gangs, and all that type of shit, which is profiling other people's. So they made a whole team. They profiled my son, took him to jail and everything, and he got off on on that and had a pistol. So. And he's not the only one, but it's a whole team out here, and we not far from each other. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Maybe you ain't experienced, but we only down the street from each other. So, but they do have a squad, and you can look it up if you don't believe me. It's basically for them profiling each other. I mean, profiling people because of gangs and things of that type of nature. So. Look it up. Matter of fact, I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. But go ahead.
Okay, so my turn now. So when you're on probation or parole, right? I do understand, yes, they do have internal affairs. Yes, they do have the pop team. That's what they're called, because I deal with my mayor. I deal with my city councilman. I go to meetings every month. So yeah, they're called the pop team. So there is a team that deals with, biasness, like, you being racially profiled or profiled while driving, profiled while black. There is a team for that. But what I'm saying is not that. What I'm saying is, if they knew you are on probation or parole, they can stop you and search you wherever you are. Now, that's what we're going to look up. If you are on probation or parole, can they stop you and search you wherever you are? It does not matter. Let's look it up.
I'm not saying that they ain't gonna stop you from being on parole. I made that very clear that they cannot stop you if you're not on probation or parole. That is profiling.
No.
Okay.
This boy was.
Yeah.
But now,
Hold on.
but the issue is,
we're not about to go back and forth with each other. That's not what we're about to do.
no, but if the issue is he's on parole, I get the fact that yes, he may be subject to random incursions where he may be pulled over, stopped, and what have you. But even in that, usually that is not done by the police. That is usually done by a parole officer. Those acting in the course of being parole officers. Okay.
No,
usually,
I just
I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta let them finish, even if you don't agree. See, we can build together. We have to be able to, even if we don't agree with somebody's, because you can be partial right and he can be right at the same time. So you got to hear what he got to say, because it's, we not going against each other. We supposed to be building off each other's information.
We are.
But now, Miss Taylor, but now if you're saying that there are laws in the books where a police officer can do this, can be given that power, then okay. But in this particular instance, though, this Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry, yeah, Mr. Johnson was no threat. Okay? And I can understand if he didn't want to stop, maybe being the continual harassment, because look what it culminated to. Him being murdered. They're claiming he had a gun. Okay? That's their claim. But the video show he wasn't going for no gun. That's what we're looking at. This police dog was out of control. And these fools act like, oh, you getting bit and ravaged is not going to have your body naturally want to defend yourself. This man was shot in the back of his head while he was face down, hands cuffed behind his back. The fact that they followed him for a duration of 2 minutes or more, but they take 2 minutes. That means they were stalking this dude.
Of course. So,
look, I can understand if he was subject to being searched or whatever, but nah, this is to the extreme. Okay? But I thank both of y'all for your counterpoint, and input. It's something we're gonna look up most definitely, because out of my neck of the woods, that isn't allowed. I'm out of New York, so that is usually the job of parole officers. Okay? And even if he's known by cops, they don't have the right to just roll up on him, unless of course there's something out on him, warrant wise, or the PO's put in, pick up on site, whatever. But that's not the case here. You know,
Okay.
so yeah.
So for parole, it says if you're on parole, you can usually be searched at any time, even without a warrant. Here's how it generally works in the US. Parole. You are still serving your sentence just outside of prison. You usually must agree to search conditions as a part of your release. A parole officer can search you, your home, your vehicle, or belongings without a warrant. In many states, even police officers can search you without a warrant and sometimes without probable cause. Courts have ruled parolees have very limited Fourth Amendment protections. Probation, you were sentenced to supervision instead of prison or a short term after. Search rules depending on the conditions ordered by the court. That's what I had just said, but now I'm coming to the receipts. Many probation terms include a search clause allowing warrantless searches. Generally, officers need at least reasonable suspicion, less than probable cause, but more than a hunch, though this varies by state. Key Supreme Court cases: Sampson versus California allowed suspiciousness searches of parolees in California. United States versus Knights allow searches of probationees with reasonable suspicions when a search condition exists. That was my point. That's it.
Okay, and point and message received.
Yeah, because that wasn't even the point of the argument. I mean, that wasn't even the point. It's basically it. Like he was saying, everybody have a take. You saying something?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, everybody have a take. Okay, we already initially said that, you know, our take on he might have been on parole, he might have been this, he might have been this. Just because we have spent
that wasn't probable. It said in the clip that he was on parole.
But look, be that as it may.
Wait. Let me finish. I didn't. She just cut me off again. I'm trying to say something that ain't even what she said, and it's like I'm keep losing my thoughts because I'm trying to explain that it's just adding information. It ain't no debate. It ain't no, you know, something wrong and something right. You know what I mean? It's like we keep getting caught up in trying to prove something that's not the case, because we're basically trying to feed up.
You just told me that wasn't right and that
Let me finish. Ain't nobody said nothing about that wasn't a right. You're steady trying to prove a case and nobody said that. And we continue trying to tell you that's not the case.
Please explain how that's not the case.
The fact I already did, and you just continue trying to make your point about, you know what I mean, statistics and the law. This is what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain myself, and every time I explain, you come out with your mouth. We're alive, you feel me? So we're not, we can have this discussion somewhere else. But what I'm saying is we're feeding all of us, me, you, and him, supposed to be feeding off each other's information. Not trying to argue with each other or trying to debate on information or pull anything. Ain't nobody said nothing about probation or parole where you don't have, you basically don't have rights. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that he didn't have that you have rights because you're on probation or parole. We know that you subject to search and seizure. That's part of probation and parole. Nobody said that. What we're trying to say is, if you're not on any probation or parole, they would have to have probable cause to search you. They just can't pull up on you. We already went through the fact that we talked about he been on parole, he could be searched and all that. Then I went into the fact of saying that, you know what I mean, it would be not true if you're not on probation and parole. They have a team set in place for you to, get... I don't even want to go there. I just want to go on with this situation, but I want to make it clear that we're basically supposed to be feeding off each other's information. I'm getting caught.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Okay. We're on the same page. But the thing is, right? With all that, now that we got the technical aspects out there, both of you give, interesting technical points and everything else. In this case, though, we have a police officer who had 3 prior killings of people in his custody. See, that's what I can't let that go. And Mr. Johnson now is his 4th victim. And I'm going to use the word victim. The video showed this man was subdued and compliant.
Yes.
The dog was ripping his ass to shreds. He reacts. And this homicidal maniac who, rather than use a taser, had his gun drawn already. Gaslighting. He got a gun. He's a gun. Start reaching. And we see he's not reaching. Even with body cams, these bastards lie.
All the time.
But he shoots him in the back of his head. This man, that particular officer, ain't been on the force no more than about 5 years.
And let's not forget about the other one. See, this is the very first them take, but it's the autopsy. He's been shot by the other officer twice. He's been shot by the in the head with the one officer, and the other officer shot him too.
Yeah. Okay, the headshot. All right. But that particular, the headshot officer.
The head and the hands.
Okay.
He got shot in the hands too.
Yeah, but seventh answer, that's received. But I can't, but Mr. Headshot, I can't, he the one I'm looking at. 3 other victims. This dude's a serial killer, man. How you on the force? Like I said, you have police officers who've been on the force 20 years or better and haven't never fired their weapon. But this dude, 3 kills, well, 4 kills now, within 5 years. Yo, this is not like I said, he's not the only cop with this kind of track record. See, that's what I'm looking at. And then we see the video, like I said, the dog handler, they weren't even handling the dog. Like you said, Kramer, the dog got his fur, got his bites off on Mr. Johnson the first time, then ran back around for seconds.
Correct.
For seconds. Mm-hmm. Where was the dog handler at, man? And they killed him. Now come on, like I said.
Yeah, can't nobody stand there with nobody, no dog biting you like that. That's crazy. Like, there's no way.
That part. These fools, be still, don't move.
Yeah,
here you are being bit, and those dogs, their pressure, is crushing. Are you kidding me? The hell wrong with but like I said, 2-leg dogs controlling 4-leg dogs. And this man was viciously murdered. Even with the officer who shot Oscar Grant in the back, none of the other officers had their guns drawn. This bastard, while Mr. Grant was down on his stomach with his hands cuffed, pulled out his gun and shot him in his spine. Killed him. That's what he wanted to do. And in this case, this homicidal maniac, no, not the taser, his gun. And you heard him, if you don't stop moving, you're going to get shot. You're going to get shot. That's what he wanted to do. We got to put a stop to this, man. It's got to stop. Anyway, someone take it away. Go ahead, Seventh Answer.
Yeah, it's got to stop. Okay, hold on. Let me get another video because I want to show you the 3 other body cam footage that they have.
During him talk.
So now, Miss Tay and Seventh Dance, look, bottom line is 2 people, Kyle Basinga, Daquan Johnson. Mr. Basinga's last seen, his last moments of life, he's seen arguing with a Georgia police officer. You know, Cobb County, Georgia police officer. Hours later, he's found hanged. He out of here, gone. Daquan Johnson. We see he's encountered by Grand Rapids PD. And in a moment, he's out of here, gone. Hands cuffed behind his back. Come, this guy, look, enough is more than enough. And this is exactly why in certain other areas in this country, there are a lot of people now blasting back on these cops, blasting back on these, I'm going to say, criminals disguised as police officers. And I'm tired of hearing all this, oh, well, it's just a few bad apples. Well, these few damn bad apples have been, as Ms. Tay said earlier on, given green lights to continue to poison and pollute the whole bunch. And that's why it's coming to what it's coming to now. But enough is enough. And like I said, the fact that we have criminals or homicidal maniacs donning, putting on the police uniform and being allowed to come out here and do this. Like I said, when I alluded back to the Clint Eastwood Magnum Force, in that movie, what was those cops' modus operandi? They specialized in killing people who were on parole, who they thought beat the system, or were actual criminals, and they decided to become God's bottom. They became and deputized themselves as being God's bottom feeders. And it was the actor who led them, Hal Holbrook. Even he said to Clint Eastwood, "Yo, I thought you'd understand, Harry." And then Clint Eastwood said, what, so famously? "I understand that there's criminals out here and the law must be upheld, but a man has got to know his limitations. I'm not hired and I'm not here to murder people, but I am here to bring people to justice." So there you go. This was back 50-something years ago. But it's clear to me that we got to stop pretending we can't understand rogue elements, criminals who have infiltrated the police department. And like I said, 10 years ago, 2016, the FBI and CIA released a report that they were quietly investigating white subversive groups, men who have infiltrated their ranks. Quietly they were investigating. But here it is 10 years later. Look at the spate of killings. But it's been going on, but now it's to the point now, it's 1, 2, 3 or more every freaking week, man. And now ICE, baby, they're joining the fray. So clearly, there has to be some serious changes. Or, as Ms. Tay just said, a revolution. And yo, let's not pretend we can't see it. We're going to stop. Not saying that we are pretending, but those out there listening, let's not pretend that you can't see that there are elements of this government that don't give a good goddamn about we the people. And the moves they're making, is out here looking to take out a great many of us. We're going to start pretending that we don't understand that these people are not playing. I mean, because not only do we have the issue with Carl Basinger and Daquan Johnson, look at what happened at the recent British Award BAFTA when you had Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo get verbally assaulted by this John Davidson piece of shit. Excuse my language, y'all. He's been a racist bigot. He's been a scumbag. I'm very familiar with this dude, his Tourette's and all. But look at how they're trying to explain away his racist bigotry under Tourette's. Now, look, I'm familiar with Tourette's and how it worked and those tics. They don't make you holler out. Here it is, that whole ceremony. Delroy Lindo and Mr. Jordan are the only two to be verbally assailed by this clown. He yelled out, "Nigga, bitch." Now we already know how certain people across the pond in Great Britain give it up. And look at how they're trying to explain that away. It was a pre-recorded show and they didn't edit out that particular bit. Because we already see the hate that Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan are getting since they've been on a roll with the Black Panther movie, with Fruitvale Station, okay, and now Sinners. It's been a whole lot of hate. But to get out there, to have them come up there on that stage, and as they're giving this speech, this scumbag who they know is a problem. They know this dude's a problem. But nigga, bitch. Nah, he knew exactly what he was saying. But see, this is where we got to start again. Our delineation, continuing how we close up rank and close up shop. Stop inviting people to the barbecue and into our culture, or trying to incorporate yourself into their culture, knowing how they feel about you. Here they are really trying to explain away, oh, well, he got John Davidson talking about, well, I'm not going to apologize for having Tourette's. It's not about you having Tourette's, scum. It's about you being a racist scumbag. And he was only voicing how they all feel. Because since we know Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan have been up for major award. Delroy, that whole cast, but Delroy and all those three in particular. Sinners has been the number one movie, not only here in America, but across the pond, internationally. That's how deep this movie ran. But it's black produced, black owned, and not to mention that Ryan Coogler hooked up a deal where he will be getting his film and his control of the films in an X amount of years. You know how that go. Black folks, black men, black men, on their how they see black boys making power moves. So this is just all this whole MAGA, even across. It's not about being Republican or Democrat. It's about being realistic about what we're dealing with in this country, and the hate element in this country that is brewing its head to the point now when you have black women being found shot to pieces while in the company of white men, you got black men being shot and gunned down by their white Becky lovers. Yeah. We're going to talk about. See, this is all going on. All that swirling and looking for acceptance. And look how it's working out. Everything is connected. And enough is enough, man. But you got another video. So, Seventh Dancer, thank you for allowing me to continue to talk. I thank y'all for y'all support on this episode, because y'all bringing heat. Hook, line, and sinker. So let's take it away.
Okay.
As the conversation continues.
I guess before the incident, the dog was praised about being a good dog. But yeah, the dog was praised before he, had his part in, homicide. But
really?
Yeah. So while I was doing a little searching about the officer about the officer and, his past, come to find out they doxed the wrong officer. And the dude is in jail for doxing him. So we're going to play that video too. They doxed an officer. They're not giving up the officer who did it. They're hiding his identity. But they did give up another officer, and whoever got the guy that gave him up is in jail now. People are coming to his house and everything. So you're gonna see that too. But yeah, they trying to hide the guy that did it. They said that wasn't the person that did it. It's actually somebody else. And the officer crying about, people. The dude went to jail for doxing him. So I guess he cried to his chief that he was being doxed, and they found the dude and arrested him. So yeah, let's get into it. But I don't know how true this is, so we're gonna get into it.
In the wake of that officer-involved fatal shooting in Grand Rapids, the mayor of the city has floated some ideas on police reforms. Most notably, Mayor David LeGrand questioned the use of police dogs and said that he would push for more Grand Rapids officers to live in the city limits. In part two of Target 8's exit interview with outgoing Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom on Thursday, the chief responds. And while Winstrom agrees with enticing more officers to live in the city, he staunchly defends the department's canines. Here's Target 8's Ken Colker.
It was at this week's mayor's meeting, days after the latest police-involved shooting, that Mayor David LeGrand discussed the idea of police reform, including the use of canines. The Grand Rapids Police Department has 8 police dogs, which recently have played major roles in high-profile cases.
What are dogs good for? Like if you need a dog to find somebody in the woods, go get a hound dog, right? If you need to chase somebody in a backyard, why couldn't you do that with a drone? If my dog did what I saw in that video, I'd put my dog down.
It appears the mayor was referring to an earlier incident involving a Grand Rapids police dog and a 14-year-old.
Canines should not be out. They're for drugs, bombs. They're not supposed to eat people.
So I'm committed to starting this conversation.
Last week, in the most recent high-profile case involving a canine, a Grand Rapids police dog took down Daquan Johnson, clamping onto an arm before 2 officers joined the fray. Police say they were pursuing Johnson because they believed he was armed with a handgun.
That canine knocked him over just at the moment that it looked like he was about to draw and shoot. And I'm confident, and from the police world and the legal world, everyone who looks at it is like, wow, it looks like that officer was about to get shot at, if not shot, but for the act.
That cop's you laughing. You must have heard me person.
He can't even be serious with himself.
I know. He knew. Yo, the cop-splaining is amazing, man. Amazing. Truly amazing. Anyway, go ahead.
actions of the canine.
Police say that during the ensuing struggle, Johnson pointed a gun at an officer, though that is not visible in video.
Even with the camera,
Yeah,
wow.
even with the incident, you seeing it. It's like,
wow.
Oh, yeah, you can see he was about to shoot. Like, really? You can see he trying to get away from the damn dog. Like, man, you might as well say the weapon flew down the street somewhere. Oh my God, this is so funny. Fear for his life.
Videos released by police or by a bystander. An officer fired 3 shots from on top of him. Johnson, according to his death certificate, died of a gunshot wound to the back.
One of the stated goals is to minimize the risk for police officers and others. And those canines are so important because they offer a less than lethal tool. Second biggest city in the state of Michigan. It would be quite the travesty if we got rid of one of the most important tools in our police department.
The mayor has since posted on Facebook that the remark about putting his dog down was, quote, Facebook that the remark about putting The mayor has since posted on Facebook that the remark about putting his dog down was, quote, made in the heat of the moment. And he wrote, while he believes canines are useful tools for police, he said he was, quote, entirely open to discussing the evolving role and use of canines in our city. The mayor also says he believes the city should try to entice more officers to live within the city limits.
The gold standard is that the more you can have people living in your community, in the community that they're policing, the tighter and the better connection you're going to have to validity, to good relationships. There's all kinds of benefits from having your police force living in your city.
City officials say
they already believe that they live in a city. That'll be a bad idea. Like, to have relations and all this. No. They need to get the hell up out of there and police their own damn city.
I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it should be a requirement that you can only, apply for a position in your area. Like, why are you, not provide, trying to provide protection for your own neighborhood? Like, why not? You know what I mean? No, because you want to be over here committing crimes. See, all they do is coming in there commit more crimes than the criminals that they think they apprehended.
And see, Linus, you're only echoing the late great Malcolm X, who said about 62 years ago, he said, yo, anytime you see a community where the crime rate is going through the roof and there are more police in that community, it's the police that are doing the crime. They're the ones that you need to look at. How you gonna have a community chock full of police, but the crime rate is through the roof unless it's the police doing it?
Right. We ain't gonna look at them, huh?
And considering that Malcolm did a 10-year bid and was behind, he ought to know. He ought to have known. Come on, man. This is a horrible world that we've inherited, and though we're trying to make the difference and trying to make it right, I'm going to say it. It's this boomer generation. Our mother, grandfather, they're the ones who making it tough. You got all these old, broke down, decrepit ass leaders. They don't want to go nowhere. And I don't want, anyone to get a coalition. He's against the elderly. No. What I'm saying is some of you elders, man, are out of control.
I'm just saying, though, it's time for
real talk. That's real talk. And then
No,
you wonder why
you're right. You're right. You're right.
they're the ones they're the ones who making it bad. And then you wonder why we of Gen X and the millennials, we tired of it too. Like I said, you got Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo getting verbally assailed. And they want to excuse it to Tourette's. Nah, no. I know of John Davidson. Okay? And he's been a racist douche scumbag. And I want to keep this thing scholarly and not get into too many colorful names of calling, whatever. But still, I'm only human. And sometimes diplomacy for certain people I just don't have. But to sit up here and listen to this cop, the lieutenant, just lie like that. As you can see in the video, he looked like he was going to shoot him. Man, even with the body cameras, they lie.
No, he's not even convinced himself. He's seen that. He's seen the video, and it's horrible. Even when he talking doing all of those videos, you could tell like he just doing what he was told to do, which is read the information out loud. That's it. But this is where I'm at with a lot of because I'm on to what you on. A lot of these chiefs are old. They've been in these police departments for a long time, since racist time. I mean, they're family members, that took over the position, but there's a lot of old racist chiefs like running these departments, police departments. So they really just need to start cleaning out these police departments, because they're crooked. They're going off of this system where it's basically a quarter, and they're gangbangers, and they just basically racist cops. But I believe that I don't know what city it is, but they just closed down a whole police department. Like the mayor went up in there, black mayor went up in there and shut down the whole police department because the chief was let go. He was fired, but you could tell that the chief is allowing these officers to do all this crooked stuff, because she was like, when they called the police in there to get the other officers out of the building, he was like, I got orders from the chief. And she was like, well, the chief already got eliminated, but he kept on pushing the line like, I don't give a damn, I'm gonna do what the chief say. Like they just basically was pushing. They didn't care what she said or nothing. It was just basically gonna push the line what the chief said, even when he already was fired. Like it's crazy. The whole department shut down. I don't know if it was in Texas somewhere, but it was just recent where they shut down the whole department.
Wow. Okay. Well, like I said, man, here it is. We got all this stuff going on, this blatantness in your face, and we out here. We're gonna have to make a choice, because now, we're gonna segue now into, because this goes now. We're gonna segue into this whole issue with Iran, America, Israel, the Epstein. Oh yeah. See, oh, you thought no. We gonna close this out with a bang. Oh, you thought we weren't gonna talk about it? We're gonna definitely talk about that now. Because see, like I said, it's this boomer generation. From Trump on down. They won't go nowhere. And these elders, if you want to call them elders, they're the ones who causing all the problems. Because now here we are. And the thresholds of now, what? A third world, World War III. But in the meantime, between time, all this Jeffrey Epstein, and all the things that's been going on about regarding that issue are coming out more and more, though they try to hide it. But look, this is nothing new. There are other voices who've been saying it, but you know, we're gonna give you the lion den spin on this. What Jeffrey Epstein and these child molesting, child eating demons walking with earthly feet have been doing with these white kids and everything. Now it's an epic. It only becomes a problem when it involves white people. But they were doing this to us since slavery. It's in their nature. Oh, he's being racist. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're being factual. Eating children, eating black people, that went on during slavery. Don't forget Nat Turner and so many other black women, men and women that were eaten. Don't forget there's a book. See, this is why it's important. Why you see, this is why they're trying to get rid of our history in this country. Yeah, books put out. The Delectable Negro. Cookbooks. You think when Rod Serling made that episode from the Twilight Zone about the aliens, how to serve man, where you think he got that from? That particular idea for an episode, huh? The raping of young boys and girls, you know, that went on in slavery, butt breaking, all that. So Jeffrey Epstein and these skunks, what they've been doing, it's been going down. Let's not forget the whole fallout with the Catholic Church. Huh? And let's not forget when you had voices, young. Let's take you back, y'all. Cause we talked about it before. But let's not forget. You think that all these young kids, they were children, all these former child stars, Todd Bridges, huh? Elijah Wood, huh? The late Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Shia LaBeouf, and so many other young boys. Okay, Orlando Brown. You think that what they've been saying, they're making it up? You think that certain celebrities talking about eating children, all right, and things they've witnessed and what they've seen, you think they're making that up? No, it's not. It's been going on. But now, with Jeffrey Epstein and all the uncovering of all these celebrity people that we looked up to, these movie stars, these Hollywood types who ain't nothing but creeps on the low. Let's not forget. You may not have remembered this particular singer. He went by the stage name Avicii, who was getting ready to uncover a child sex ring, and he wound up dead. Yeah, that's right. See, this is big business. And these sick maniacs are now being revealed. So this war with Iran, and all the other tactics being used, trying to cover up what they're doing. But no. As Ms. Tay said earlier on, we are now in the age of revelation, the age of Aquarius. Everything is now being revealed. Some say, well, if there's a God and everything else, why come he won't do nothing about it? Believe me, my faith been on the rope, but you know what? The Lord did say, I am the Lord thy God. He didn't say, I'm the Lord thy janitor. Now we always want the Lord to come in and clean up our caca when he told you how to live and how to conduct yourself. But since man wanted to do it on their own, he let us have at it. And now we're finding out, no, we can't rule ourselves. We can't police ourselves. Because there's too many demons walking with earthly feet. Yeah, that's right. So now he is making himself known again. But not without revealing these demons and these skunks and these crooks. But again, this been going on since slavery. They were eating our black children. Don't forget, they would hang black men and women and cut off their body parts and hold it for souvenirs. See, we're not forgetting that. We're not going to never let that go. Don't forget they would tie ropes around little black boys and girls and throw them into rivers and streams as gator bait. While they were hunting alligators, they would use live bait, our children. See, you have to look at the mindset of such an individual that would feed children to beasts, carnivores with 1,000-pound crushing power in their bite. But this is what went on in this country. So this whole Jeffrey Epstein and what they've been doing, hey, it's only, as they say, par for the course. Meaning, hey, yo, it's only academic. But now it's just being revealed. There are a lot of people here who see these things and they can't handle it. So yeah, that's right. Now we're being led headfirst into a war with Iran. That Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, they've been wanting to start. And now they found the right patsy, the right president, the right one to go ahead on and start this war. That definitely gonna end with us losing. See, now you understand why the health care and all the other social spending is being cut in this country. Because you have all these baby boomer corporate raiders, thieves, gutting it for everything they can get their grubby hands on. Well, we have Gen X and millennial, we're not gonna have nothing left messing with the baby boomer generation who have sold us out. Let's just call it what it is. So now we're at a crossroads where war will be raged. Now we here on this show, we are strong advocates of freedom of speech, but responsible speech. But we are not going to sit up here and be muzzled and pretend that we can't see not even an uncivil war is about to rage in this country. See, we're not going to pretend that we're not seeing. The reason they want you to go, they don't want to pass out paper checks. They want everything electronic. They want you to come under this particular control and that control. Because with the press of a button, if you rebel and you don't want to get with their program, they shut you out. This is what it's coming to. And no, we, along with other voices out here, we will not be shut down. See, there's a reason why they mess with the algorithms, disrupt our programming. But look, we're going to still keep it on, whether we have 100 listeners or one listener. It don't matter. As long as someone's receiving these communications and we're dropping nothing but provable, irrefutable facts. This is not a joke nor a game. Iran is not the one. Already, there are casualties on the American side, that is, that are brewing and happening. And this is what kills me. Just like we got led into that whole thing with Iraq all those years ago, you know, WMD, weapons of mass destruction. It kills me that you got all these Vietnam draft dodging punks who bold and brave enough now to start wars and send our children, your children out there listening, to go out here and die for their gangster causes. This war is not something that America needed or started. See, Trump and company are under Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, Epstein, all of them. He under their control. This country is now ran by Israel. Okay, we're not going to pretend that we don't see that. They've been wanting to get at Iran. And with this administration and everything else, here we are. They finally getting what they want, what they've been wanting. So the Epstein files, look, all that is connected. It's all connected as to why all these congressmen, mayors, and governors, and senators, and everyone else are out here going to Israel, making a vow to support Israel. There's a reason why. There's a reason why they have all this dirt and want to have all this dirt on people, because that way they can get you to bend to their will. If you dumb enough to fall for the trap. But my point is, look, I'm not shocked at the Epstein files, but because there have been so many other people out here blowing the whistle and warning us, telling us. Weren't we listening to Malcolm Jamal Warner before he suddenly went out here on vacation and suddenly drowned while trying to save his child? Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner was blowing the whistle. Michael Jackson. Now, here it is in regard to the Epstein files. I don't know if y'all heard this story, because they just reported it just briefly, you know, and the major news, so-called major news channels ain't want to touch it. But now we come to find out that there are stories emerging that Michael Jackson made the Neverland Ranch and all the other ranches and little escapes that he had for children, trying to rescue these children from the molesters and all the others out there. Yeah, that's right. Here it is now, all these years later, we coming to find out Michael Jackson was a hero. He was made the villain because he too was raising the alarm way back when. And now we come to find out that the Neverland Ranch and all the other things he was doing for the children was to rescue them from the clutches of these evil, stinking grown. Yo, come on, man. So you out there in Lions Den land, as you listen to this broadcast and communication, as you can see, I've been gone for a while. But the seventh answer she got on the horn, Miss Tay, they got on the horn, said, brother, you just suck it up, get back in the driver's seat, and let's make this happen. As you can see, the Lions Den, we're a get busy crew. That's old school slang for we into it. We bring heat, win, lose, or draw. Okay? And we letting you know, look, more things are gonna be revealed. But these people got to go. But no, you know what? Trump gonna lead us into World War III. I know that in the Bible, the people talk about there's a Bible verse that says at the last trump, blah blah blah. You know, yo, okay. Who know what John the Revelator was seeing? You know, but like some say, well, it's kind of coincidental that Trump's name is in the Bible. But I'm like, look, okay, that's one hell of a coincidence. But yo, with the way things are going, he definitely might be the last U.S. president. Because as this war with Iran heats up, other nations are now coming into play. China. Now we're finding out that China has been giving technology to Iran. That's scrambling up, I'm going to say allegedly, scrambling up American planes and their ability and their radars and all that. But the Bible said that was going to be the case. Russia is now stepping into position as well. The Bible said that you have Gog, Magog, Moab, using their ancient names. There's some people who don't believe that, but still, even if you don't believe in the Bible's happening in your face. But the point is, we here in America, you better get ready. Look, I'll tell you, you want to go out here, store up on foods, stock up on certain things, keep cash, whatever. Do what you got to do. But even with that, that's not going to stop the casualties that's going to happen on American shore. Because see, oh shit. Wait, where am I? I'm sorry. Okay, I thought I got cut off. I hope y'all didn't hear me cuss. But anyway, bottom line, listen. The draft is going to be reinstated. And you better believe I'm not calling for sedition of any kind. But I am going to tell Trump and company, if you think this millennial generation are going to be like Gen X and some in the previous generations and go willingly, you done lost your, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. The millennial generation is already showing you they're not interested in working themselves to death and retire with nothing or being paid next to them. They're already showing you. But if you think if they reinstitute the draft, oh, you're going to see all kinds of hell break loose in this country. See, this generation sees how previous veterans like myself and so many others are treated by this country after we give our service, after we put ourselves in harm's way. And then when we need help and we want the benefits that were promised, and many of us get, what you say, hosed, we get ripped off, or you get cuts to the services and the promises. Nah, this generation not having it. They're not going for it. And that's why Twan, that's why, Trump is stressed out. Yeah, that's right. That's why this generation, they're not having it. They're not going for it. So you better believe that just we're gonna have a war in Iran, but a war is gonna break loose in this country. And Israel's pushing it. Huh? Taking all the money from American hands. And let me prove what I'm talking about. Do any of y'all recall in and around June, July of 2025, the story that came out about how $300 billion, an estimated $300 billion was removed from the healthcare system here in America, and now it's popping up in Israel? They want to cut EBT and all the other programs, but yet now every woman in Israel with children per child gets $1,000 a month. That's right. Yeah, we're gonna blow the lid off this, man. Like I said, to have 250 or more sitting U.S. governors, mayors, senators, and you name it, judges, all take a trip to Israel and make a vow and a pledge to uphold Israel. Wait. Hold on. Whoa. I thought it was about upholding, upholding America. I thought it was America first and Americans first. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, how it is, man, to be alive in this time. And this is why you need the lion. You know what? This is why you need the Lion's Den. This is why you need voices. This is why, we're going to make more presentations. I'm going to suck it up and we're going to make more presentations. But looking at the time, we normally don't deprive you. I want to try to give you a full 3 hours, but look, I think we done gave enough. All right. And in my neck of the woods, it's about to be 11:30 at night. And your boy is tired. So, seventh answer, if you don't mind, let's just end it right about here and right now.
Do part two, because I want to bring out the videos with Trump and Epstein.
Word.
So I was trying to get on TikTok, but TikTok tripping right now and it's doing some weird stuff. Like it's literally. I'm gonna show you. Look, watch this.
Who owns TikTok? Wait. Wasn't TikTok recently bought? Who owns TikTok right about now?
I think it's still going through the procedures of that, but I don't think they got it yet. But as soon as it was like a trip, because as soon as I was like, we gonna go live, it got the tripping. Let me show you what it's doing though. It's weird. Like, yeah, give me a few seconds. Keep talking. It's loading up. Watch this. Watch what it's doing.
Okay. So listen, for all y'all who tuned in tonight and everything else, look, I'm glad you came through and sat with us and everything else. And going forward, we definitely gonna be back in the saddle again. And we're gonna probably be here tomorrow night for part 2 of secrets being revealed. We're gonna keep this energy going. And look, it's always our pleasure to bring to you all this information to show you that you have people out here on the grind who haven't been bought, and more importantly, not going to be sold. What? Oh, wow.
item 2 of the agenda. I now give the floor to Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo. With the Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional
See what it's
Rules
doing?
of Procedure,
And it already
I
knows
invite
what
Ms.
to
Rosemary
play.
DiCarlo, Under Secretary General of Political and Peace Building Affairs,
I see it.
to participate
Hey, I can
in
go
this
off of this
meeting.
and play anything else. Yeah. It's crazy.
The Security Council will now begin its consideration of item 2 of the agenda. I now give the floor to Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo.
Yeah, watch this.
With the Rule 39 of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite Ms. Rosemary DiCarlo, Under
Okay.
And somehow these people are so important and so powerful that both Republican and Democrat DOJs decided not to.
Yes. In fact, if you read the files, it's very clear that dating back to 2006 and 7, when the
So then why
Department
didn't
of
Pam
Justice
Bondi do it?
This is playing with no problem.
In
As
2006
soon
and
as I
7,
log
there
in,
was an
it's
indictment
ugly.
memo drafted that
See, it's
had
playing with no
dozens
problem.
of
Watch this.
recommended indictments against Jeffrey Epstein, and Alex Acosta, who was the U.S. attorney at the time, chose to kill the case against the line attorney at the time.
Wait, hold on.
Then there were
Against
years
Jeffrey
of
Epstein.
evidence put
No, you're
forward
completely
by
conflating
victims.
things. You said if a prince can be held accountable, so can a president. I'll ask you the question again. You said that right after Prince Andrew was arrested and charged with a crime. That's what accountability means to you. What crime should Donald Trump be charged with?
Well, Donald Trump was investigated by the FBI for abuse of a minor, and there are multiple statements.
They're spending money, about $12 billion for farm subsidies because the tariffs were just that bad. So it's all a wash. So I don't really understand.
Well, nobody let him do his job,
How is
honestly.
it that
Nobody
you
let
guys
him.
are actually cutting spending?
So he said that Elon said that it was somewhat successful. And the only reason he wouldn't do it again is because everyone burnt down his Teslas and tried to destroy his
I have a
business
question for you.
that he started.
I have a question.
$100 billion in zombie payments is what he said.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you get your $2,000 Doge check?
From the tariffs?
From Doge as a
Which
result of all the
$2,000
spending
which-
that
which-
was supposed to happen.
Wow.
There was supposed to be a $2,000 Doge check. Did you get that?
No.
Hey, yo.
I want
They
you to
haven't
go get these videos I
They
got.
introduced something for that?
Fire.
We're supposed to be
Said
getting
that we'd be getting a check in the
videos I
mail.
But
got.
nobody, you guys went into this
ugly.
not letting him do what he came there to do.
Yeah.
So you control
Why
the
would
House,
anyone want
the Senate,
fraud to be continued?
and the White
If it
House.
when I
You control
brought up
literally
California
all
because
three,
it's happening in
and
this
you-
guy. How could anyone work like that? Honestly,
Having
you
all
guys
three,
did not let the guy
having
do
the
anything.
House, the
He's a
Senate,
Nazi.
and the White House,
You villainized him.
you control it
24/7.
all.
It's
You control it all.
So what?
And you
so
still
what?
couldn't get it done with your people in
You
charge.
guys were doxing him and calling this guy big balls and going crazy about every single thing with Doge. Doge was literally vilified, but we were allowed to be audited by the IRS when Biden hired 80,000 IRS agents, the random regular people.
Let me ask you a question.
You don't, I'm sorry,
How
but if
does
there's
how
people
does a
doing
bill
fraud
become
in the
a law?
government, you don't
How
want to
does-
know
how
about
does
it,
How does a bill become a law? Do you know?
goes through Congress.
And so then what? It has to go through both chambers of Congress.
Okay.
It has to go to the president.
Yes, and then
Who
he
has the
sign off.
majority in the Senate?
We do.
Who has the majority in the House?
It's crazy. But I'm about to switch. I'm about to get them off and put them on Facebook so I can be able to share it, when we go live, because we need to follow up on this second part of the episode of Trump and the war.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been thoroughly informed and given a full menu of information that you can now use to disseminate and put into effect your own plan to be better educated, better informed, as we here in the Lion's Den bring you that heat and bring you that sustenance that you desperately need. And so, we give honor to the Lord in Christ, from whom all positive thoughts flow. And we thank you for allowing us to come to your mind, soul, and cipher. And on behalf of the Seventh Dance Lady Karima, Miss Tay, and our brother Malakaya, aka Dark Storm, we salute you for being daring enough and liberated enough to allow we, the Dynamic 3, to come into your system, right, and infuse you and give you that spiritual high that you need to keep you aware and vigilant to what's going on around you. And so in closing, don't worry, we'll be back, and the conversation will continue, talking about what's on your mind. And so, in closing, in the spirit of Don Cornelius, we always say to you, Shalom, peace, ahab, love, and the posh. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait, Seventh Dancer, do you have any parting shots? Well, I almost forgot.
Please hit the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Tell a friend. We're going in. If you have any information you're trying to bring out or want to discuss, please, notify us. Hit us in the comment here or on Facebook or anywhere. We're trying to get this information out with your help.
And so, I say again, in the spirit of Don Cornelius on the Hebrew tip, Shalom, peace, ahab, love, and the posh. Protect and guard your soul. And we are up out of here.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, that sound good, y'all. Hello. What we doing?
Hey, cook that up, Kylie.
We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. They said you got the call, they trying to blackball you. Like what they own, bro. You can't blackball a boss. The whole world, they hate Israel. The way you hate your neighbor, might as well pull the trigger on yourself. You know we get excited by the smoke. Every day we catching flesh. Say my treasure stored in heaven, we gon' blow the rest. They disrespecting and we check the bank that causing kept it still. They asking others about my business, but I ain't got no instant miss. See, I still deal with ox direct. Cause your person don't mean you respect. Your outlet don't get no credit if the ox ain't in it. Money answer all things and you got all these questions. Playing Vic. Look, I employ slavery. I'll if you broke your say it. Yeah, them crews in the hood, Jews in the hood. I caught them clues, now I'm good. I broke it down, he understood my all to you. Filtered through, you found a few, I'm good. We what we sold, this here exclusive. They like, hey, folk, look what you doing. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they field. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit my enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still. Most I told me, be still, give a room to work. Know my movie work. Your faith ain't good, don't put the work in. In the spirit flexing, that my day job. Getting the mode out my own, I don't know what they are. Before I got the blueprint, and I'm too legit to quit. Let it spark in the dark, be a light, got it lit. Trying to map my movement, got my haters pondering. The odds set the questionnaire, they wanna know if you still lit. It hit different, you authentic, a lot of odds pretending. We do it for the Lord, got my own motion, who are you to judge? Put most high first, none above. Tap in the spirit, we locked in, they'll come against your plot. You know Judas said, yeah, we spit them scripts, they barely now. Came on slave ships, then you not black. You know they tell you everything. Isaiah 30:20, yeah, we bad. You see what happened when they tried to rail the train up off the track. False witness, hypocrite. We throw shots back, now they feel hit. Must go get it. We still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, we still getting to the money, got these haters in they feel. Lil' homie, let them chill. Most I told me, vengeance hit. My enemies, my footstools. We ain't got no beef for real. Just here, this how we live. Look here, homie, be still.